Blessings and greetings again. This is part three, and hopefully I'll do as many takes or many parts until I get this message completed. The mighty one has been on me. I'm not a YouTuber, so to speak, but I'm a firm believer that he gives you more on the way than he does before you start. And so the object is to get started on the mighty one's business. Anyway, this is part three. In part two, I left off uh, dealing with the fact of that it was Salvador Dali who, in his painting, gave a nod to Zygmunt Freud. Zygmunt Freud. And the nod was, in the painting, the fact that there was a staircase leading up to a bridge. And in the painting, the bridge was a structure that really wasn't a bridge. It was just a portion of a bridge. But the staircase, you could go up on the bridge and then you could come back down the staircase. Almost as if it was saying, and I'm not trying to interpret Salvador Dali's painting, but it's almost the signify that they knew they wasn't going anywhere. They knew that they would walk up, get to the top, and then they would be on their way back down. That this would be an up and down process, that they would never get across the bridge because they didn't have the power, the understanding, the DNA, the melanin, what it took to cross the bridge. Just my interpretation. But as we left off the dream, it says it could also symbolize a fear of taking risks or making a big decision. This painting that Salvador Dali painted, nodding to Sigmund Freud, signifies the fear of taking a risk or making a big decision. They knew eventually that they knew that they were taking a risk, and they knew that when they got to a certain part of the bridge, that they were going to have to make a big decision. Beloved Israel, the Holy One is speaking to us at this time. Now, I'm led to believe that we go now to Daniel 12 and 4. Because as we go up, they're coming down. As we go up, they're coming down. And Daniel foresaw this because the Holy One, as Daniel was writing to reveal unto the children of Yasharala, the children of light, the plan of the Holy One. Daniel 12 and 4 says, "But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book." Thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book. Well, we know the Bible was not sealed, for every man had a Bible in his hand. But the book that Daniel is writing is saying that he was instructed to shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. So according to the book of Daniel, there will become a time where this book that was sealed will be unsealed. And it'd be a time where people were running to and fro, seeking out knowledge, but in that day, knowledge shall be increased. All praise to the Holy One. I'll get back to the message. Some say that a broken bridge in a dream can mean that you have made a mistake in your waking life, or are anticipating the consequences of one, the bridge, or anticipating the consequences of that mistake. The bridge can also symbolize a goal or effort that has either failed or is failing. Now, the way that this painter, Salvador Dali, nods to Sigmund Freud, he nods to him by putting in the painting a staircase leading up to the bridge that we just spoke on. Now, according to Sigmund Freud, a staircase, he nods to him with the staircase. A staircase represents climax, or the highest place, with sexual activity. His psychosexual analysis was based on an experimental study upon a certain people, upon a certain group of people. Is by way that they were getting their scientific studies and understanding of the dream and the awakened state and the power to enjoy the fruit of this bridge to fuel their reality, to fuel their dream, to fuel what they thought by any means necessary to enjoy their life. Now Sigmund Freud, he believed that this the stairs, or this place, was an allusion to sexual intercourse in the first days of spring. That in this time of spring was a time where this intercourse activity would come forward, and it would fuel or ignite or give power to a specific people for a specific purpose, drawing out the energy of another to fuel their dream, to rob one of a reality so that they can fuel their dream. It's getting clearer. So this could be the reason why we never could understand what Easter was all about. This could be the reason why we seen the bunny rabbit and never understood what it had to do with the Passover. This could be the reason why we never understood why eggs, which represents the circumference of the world with life inside, our forefathers and our foreparents, when you were highly sexual, they would say they are out there getting it like jackrabbits or bunny rabbits. And I've heard before that they may have some of a rabbit's DNA in their genes. This is a quote from Fraud. Fraud said, "The interpretation of dreams is the royal road to a knowledge of the unconscious activities of the mind." He meant that because dreams are such an unconscious activity, they give an almost direct insight into the workings of the unconscious mind. They put us to sleep so that they could live. But it wasn't until we awake, or the awakening, where they begin to die. According to Sigmund Freud. Freud interpreted dream stares as a symbol of sexual activity. Now, this message came after the Passover. Many were tested to see whether you would fall. As the beloved brother said, he never understood what rabbits, bunny rabbits, and eggs had to do with the Passover, but he said, "Oh well, have at it." Now we have a piece of their sexual deviancy upon the melanated man, woman, and child, of why this was part of their purpose.